Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. Today I'll be presenting an integrity case in Malaysia, which is the Rosmah Mansor solar bribery case. This case is important because it involves corruption, abuse of influence, public money, and government project that was supposed to help rural schools in Sarawak. So first, let me explain the background of the case. So Datin Sri Rosmah Mansor is the wife of former Malaysian Prime Minister Datuk Seri Najib Razak. She was involved in a corruption case related to the solar hybrid energy project for rural schools in Sarawak. So the project was worth about 1.25 billion and was intended to provide electricity to 369 rural schools. So basically, the purpose of the project was good, and it was supposed to help the schools in rural areas that needed better access to electricity. However, the case became a major issue when Rosmah was accused of soliciting and receiving bribes related to the project, which the company that is for accountability is named Jepat Holdings Sdn Bhd. So instead of being remembered only as a development project for schools, the project became known as a corruption case. So in 2022, the High Court found Rosmah guilty of corruption. She was sentenced to 10 years in prison and was fined 970 million. This made the case one of the most serious corruption cases involving a person closely connected to political power in Malaysia. So the first cause of the case is that it was a lack of integrity and ethical responsibility. Integrity means doing right thing even when no one is watching. So in this case, that solar hybrid project was supposed to support our schools. However, the corruption case showed how personal interest could interfere with public responsibility. So the second cause was abuse of power and political influence. Rosmah did not hold an official government position, but she was closely connected to the country's top leadership at that time. This raised concerns about how influence can affect government decisions. So in a fair systems, projects should be awarded based on proper procedures, transparency, and the ability of company to complete the work. However, when political influence is involved, the process may become unfair. So this can create opportunities for corruption and weaken public confidence in government institutions. So this is dangerous because corruption does not only involve money, it also affects people's lives. In this case, the people who could be affected are students, teachers, and rural communities who needed better school facilities. So when corruption happens in education projects, it can reduce the quality of learning and delay development for communities that needed support. So that will be the end of my part.
Hi, my name is Hana Muhammad and my student ID is 243UK 245RK and I will be covering section C and D. Now, let's discuss the impact of the Rosmah Mansor Solar Hybrid Project case on society and the nation. Firstly, this case had a significant impact on society. One of the major effects was the decline in public trust towards leader and public institutions. When corruption cases involving high-profile individuals occurred, many people began to question the integrity and accountability of those in position of power. This also creates a negative perception of political leadership and increases public concern about corruption in government projects. In addition, the case had several impacts on the nation. It affected Malaysia's international reputation and raised concern about governance and transparency in public sector. The case also highlighted the risk of public funds being misused instead of utilized for national development and public welfare. Furthermore, investigations and legal proceedings required significant resource and cost, which can place additional burden on the government. Overall, this case became one of the most high profile corruption cases in Malaysia and attracted widespread public attention. It served as an important reminder of the need for integrity, accountability, and ethical leadership in both the public and private sector. This case has taught me that integrity is one of the most important qualities of a leader. Regardless of position or influence, every individual must act honestly and responsibly. As a future professional, I have learned that abusing power for personal gain can have serious consequences for society and the nation. Ethical leadership, transparency, and accountability are essential in building public trust and ensuring good governance. Thank you.
Okay, Assalamualaikum and very good morning. My name is Rais Hamzani. Today I will be the moderator, Mr. Teow.
Hello, I am Teow Ming. I will be the governance and integrity expert in this matter.
Hello, my name is Muhammad Mushairan. I will be the leadership and ethics expert.
Everyone, welcome to our forum discussion on the integrity and leadership. So today we will discuss the Rosmah Mansor solar hybrid project case, one of the most high-profile corruption cases in Malaysia. So the case itself involved allegations of bribery relating to a 1.25 billion solar hybrid project for rural schools in Sarawak. So today we will discuss the causes of the case, its impact on society and the nation, and the lesson that future leaders can learn from it. So let me begin with our first question to our governance and integrity expert, Mr. Teow. What do you think was the main cause of this case?
Okay, thank you, Rais. In my opinion, the main cause of this case was the abuse of influence and lack of integrity. Integrity means acting honestly, ethically, and responsibly regardless of one's position. So, in this case, allegations of corruptions and bribery raised very serious concerns about whether influence was used improperly in matters involving public projects. When personal interests are placed above public interests, integrity is compromised. This demonstrates the importance of transparency and accountability in decision-making processes.
I see. So, thank you, Mr. Teo. So now, from a leadership perspective, what leadership failures can we identify from this case, Mr. Mous, of
Right.
our leadership and ethics expert? Yeah.
All right, thank you, Mr. Rais. So, one major leadership failure was the lack of ethical leadership. Leaders are expected to serve the public interest and act as role models. So, when the leader misuse their influence for their personal benefit, public trust is affected. Ethical leadership requires these three things, which is honesty, accountability, and responsibility. So this case reminds us that leadership is not only about authority or influence, but also about making decisions that are ethical and beneficial to society.
Okay. Thank you for the insight, Mr. Mous. So next, let us discuss the impact of this case. So, Mr. Teo, how has this case affected the society and the nation?
Thank you, Mr. Rice. I believe that the impact on society is very significant. Firstly, public trust in leadership and institutions may decline when corruption cases occur. Citizens expect public projects to be managed fairly and responsibly. Secondly, corruption creates a perception that decisions can be influenced by personal interests rather than public needs. As a result, confidence in governance and public administration may be weakened. That's it.
So, from a national perspective, corruption case can damage a country reputation internationally. Investors and stakeholders may become concerned about governance standard and accountability. In addition, public funds that should be used for development, education, and public service may be affected when corruption occurs. So, therefore, maintaining integrity is important not only for individuals but also for national development.
I see. Okay, thank you, Mr. Teo and Mr. Mous. Before we conclude this forum discussion, I would like to ask both speaker, what lesson can future leaders learn from this case actually? We go for Mr. Teo first.
Um, I believe that future leaders must understand that integrity is the foundation of good governance. Once it is lost, permanent loss of trust will happen. So they must be transparent, accountable, and committed to serving the public interest. Strong systems and ethical behaviors are essential in preventing corruption and maintaining public confidence. That is all from my side.
Yeah, I do agree with Mr. Teow. Future leaders should remember that Power and influence come with responsibility, so success should never be achieved through unethical means. Leaders who demonstrate honesty, accountability, and integrity are more likely to gain trust and create positive change in our society.
Okay, thank you to both speaker, Mr. Teow and Mr. Mous, for sharing your insight on this. So, in conclusion, the Rosmah Mansor solar hybrid project case highlight the importance of integrity, accountability, and ethical leadership. The case serves as a reminder that leaders out there must always place public interest above personal interest. And as future professionals and leaders, we should learn from this case and uphold the values of honesty, responsibility, and integrity in everything we do. So, thank you everyone to see our forum, and thank you for joining for our discussion today. So, thank you everyone.
All right,
Thank you.
no problem.